Today we're going to look to begin modelling our mantle clock. To start, you're going to click Create Sketch. We're going to come over to our navigation box, select Top, and then select the plane. To begin drawing, first off we need a rectangle, so we're going to come up here to a 2-point rectangle, or we're going to use the shortcut key R for rectangle. Starting in the centre and drawing out. We don't have to try and get these measurements spot on, we can actually type in our measurements. That's what I'm going to do now. 90, I'm going to use the tab key to toggle between the two dimensions, and my second dimension is 260. And then we can click Enter. Select Finish Sketch, and then fit it to the window. Now we can also zoom a little bit in and out, make that easier to see. We want to select that surface and extrude it, make it 3D. So to start with, we can use the extrude button on the top left up here, or shortcut key E. So I'm going to go with E. I'm going to hold Shift and toggle that around just a little bit. Or you can select to view from the edge between the top and the front. I'm going to lift that up. We want that thickness to be 19. Now in our extrude dialog box, for this shape, for the base piece, is very simple. We have a distance of 19. We want a 0-degree taper. The operation we want, though, is not a new body, it's a new component. So we're going to go down to New Component, click OK, and the component will then come up in our menu on the left hand side. So I'm going to double click on that, rename it Base. Notice I'm using all caps. And we're going to leave that now. Now before I go on, I'm going to hit Save. I'm going to call this mantle clock. Again, all caps. Our location, Year 10 ITS, classwork, and I'm going to hit Save. From here I want a new sketch, because we need to do the housings for our stopped housing joint. So I'm going to select the top surface and start a sketch. From our plans, we can see that our housing starts 19 millimeters in from the corner. So I'm going to select line, draw a line there, type in 19, enter, followed then by rectangle, or shortcut key R, and we want this to be 40 millimeters down, and then again tab to toggle between the dimensions, 19 wide, and enter. Now when we cut this, it's not going to be a rectangle because we use the router. So we're actually going to come up and we're going to draw a circle as well at the end. So we want to find the middle point, which Fusion gives us with the X. Select the middle point and we're going to type in 19 as our diameter and hit enter. Last but not least, we can trim. So either the scissors or T for trim the unnecessary lines. We don't need the back half of our circle, and we don't need this line from our rectangle either. So our whole shape now is a rectangle with a rounded end. Ignore the warning, that won't matter at all. Now before we finish the sketch, we're going to draw the second part on the left hand side over here. So back to the line tool, the link from our corner, 19 in, and this is very much the same as the other side, only in the opposite direction. So 40 19, using tab to toggle between the two dimensions, and enter. Then the circle tool, or C for circle, obtain the middle, drag that one out, 19, enter, T for trim, and get rid of the pieces that we don't need. Now we could also trim off the lines that we put in here to begin with, but we don't have to. Okay, we now want to finish the sketch, so we come over, finish sketch, and we can now extrude these. So if I select the first shape there, hold shift, and select the second shape, I want to extrude this down, so I'm going to press E for extrude. Now that arrow points up, which is fine. I can actually grab that arrow and drag it down as well, and you can see it's jumped straight to 10. Okay, the 10mm distance is indicated here, and very faintly under the arrow there. I want to cut it out. The object that I'm cutting is my base, which is fine. We're going to click OK. We now have our housings. The base piece is now almost complete. So again, I'm going to go and hit save. And OK. Lastly, on our base piece, we want to select the edge. I'm going to hold shift so I can select multiples. I want to come up to modify. The modify, I want to chamfer the edge. In my chamfer dialog box, I can do it equal distances, I can do it 2 distances, or a distance and an angle. I want equal distances, because as you can see from your plans, we're doing that by 5mm each way. So we're going to type in 5, you can see the preview there, looks good, and we click OK. Last time, save, and our base piece is finished.